This week on Team 200. Team 200 is presented by Moon Guide. Plan your best hunt.
Oh my God, I can't even believe this is real.
Team 200 member Ryan Lemkuhl knows what it takes to put big bucks on the ground. By focusing his efforts on specific animals each year, paying close attention to key triggering factors like the wind, weather, and the moon, Ryan's success speaks for itself. And it all starts with a solid game plan well before opening day.
For me personally, here in Northeast Kansas, on a lot of the farms I hunt, you've got Flint Hills, rolling pasture. I don't have the advantage of having a lot of row crop, bottom ground on these properties I'm hunting. So I've got to bring the food sources to the deer, and using the Whitetail Institute products has been a huge factor for me and helped me with my success whitetail hunting. Basically bringing the food to the deer has paid dividends for me. And I can say the same about the mineral, just giving them what they need. That's the biggest tool that I use, keeping track of these bucks, using the Whitetail Institute products. So my buddy bought a brand new farm here in Northeast Kansas, and the first thing you do on any property, permission, lease, purchase, whatever it is, you got to get that mineral down, and that's exactly what we did. We got the mineral out, the cameras out, and immediately we found this giant buck, just a cluster of velvet, points everywhere, and man, talk about a way to get you excited for deer season. And we're developing a plan at this point because we know we've got an animal that we need to get onto right away and try to get a game plan and get him on the ground. Really, it starts with when's the season open and what's the moon guide doing. That's the two biggest factors for us that time of year, and really all year. But in this case, the red moon started basically 5 days before the muzzleloader started. We had a couple days of red moon for legal season here in Kansas, and we were going to hunt the first evening, and the second morning was the first two hunts we were going to have. And we were able to capitalize on the first morning that we went in, and we got this giant buck on the ground.
With a world-class whitetail on camera and the red moon hitting during the Kansas muzzleloader season, Ryan and good friend Kevin Schaub take full advantage of the opportunity, putting this 196-inch giant on the ground.
Truly just an incredible hunt, incredible animal. Super pumped for my buddy Kevin. It's a world-class deer. Points everywhere, tight frame, crazy mass. It was just an incredible moment. And you can't say enough about a red moon. Time and time again, it's just, proof is in the pudding. Another giant falls to the red moon. Can't say enough about it. All right, it's time to fire up these bucks. Scrape lure, engage. So here I am, already the end of October. One of my favorite things to do in the fall is fire up those mock scrapes, raw frozen scents. I got a big buck on a farm that has been toying with me for years, and I'm able to locate this deer almost right away, just getting loads of content from the mock scrapes on this buck. So this is a deer that I've been on for several years. You know, probably he's been a 160 plus class deer for the last 4 years. I think he's 8 or 9 years old by now. I've never laid eyes on him. Don't really feel like I've got a chance, but man, I'm investing a lot of time over the years, a lot of tree stand time trying to lay eyes on this big buck.
Coming up next. Team 200 is brought to you by Osseo Gear, nature's most lethal camouflage. By Whitetail Institute, research equals results. Hoyt, get serious, get Hoyt. Ozonics, undetectable, undeniable. Lone Wolf Custom Gear, the innovator of mobile hunting. Quiet Cat, all-terrain, all-electric. Pope and Young, preserve, promote, protect. And by Black Eagle Arrows.
Are you looking for a food plot product that will attract and hold deer during early and late season? Look no further than Imperial Pure Attraction. By combining the early season attraction and nutrition of whitetail oats with the abundant tonnage produced with foraged brassicas, this 1-2 punch provides incredible attraction both early and late season. Pure Attraction establishes and grows quickly and is extremely cold and drought tolerant. You'll be amazed at how quickly and hard the deer will hit it. Remember, research equals results with the Whitetail Institute.
This segment is brought to you by Luminoc. Light 'em up. In 2019, Ryan Lemkuhl located a giant Kansas buck. After pursuing him for a couple weeks, he broke off one of his main beams. As a result, Ryan found an even bigger buck.
Check this guy out.
He hit the red moon perfect, and it's Ryan's biggest buck to date.
That is a beam right there.
The following year, the broken antler buck showed up on camera, but Ryan never laid eyes on him. It's 2021, and the big buck has shown back up on camera, and Ryan is excited for his opportunity.
He's just super heavy. He's got a little bit of trash at his base, and he's definitely not shy on the cameras, but I'm just not able to catch up with him and get on him at the right time.
Just doctored up the decoy. Can I kind of cover the base of the tree with the scrape lure?
Early November, using the decoy almost religiously daily. Raw frozen scents on the decoy. Covering my backside with the ozonics is always key, and trying to get on a big buck there while they're cruising in early November. And I'm telling you, there is nothing like decoying bucks that first week in November. Just so many amazing encounters, and the footage speaks for itself. And just really, like I said, jumping around and trying to get on a big buck there while they're cruising in early November.
In a brand new tree. Never said this before. Actually just hung it yesterday. This is as close as I can get to where I think this big buck is hiding. I get his picture very inconsistently and very late at night.
You You know, we all have our strategies and our plan building into the rut, but ultimately, you know, when it really starts cranking, you just got to throw yourself out there. These deer are going to be unpredictable. They're not going to do what we expect it to at all. And so the ozonics is a huge key because they're going to be upwind, downwind, and I look at the ozonics as a bit of an equalizer, and it's controlled chaos basically. It's a little bit of a level playing field for sure, because these big bucks are going to be unpredictable chasing does.
With the bucks on the move and lots of decoy action, Ryan knows persistence is the name of the game, especially in November.
The chase is on. Finally figured out why that buck was hanging out there so long. He was standing over a doe. But two bucks, one big non-typical and a little 2-year-old buck probably. But I guess there's an off chance that doe can run him by.
Coming up next. Optics for Team 200 are provided by Athlon Optics. See their complete line of sharp, tight, and priced just right binoculars, rangefinders, rifle scopes, and spotting scopes at athlonoptics.com.
Well, I have the scrape lure here. I'm gonna set up a mock scrape here, see what kind of inventory I can get of the bucks on this property.
From the deer farm to your front door, raw frozen scents are as fresh as you can get. Raw is 100% pure deer urine collected from real deer.
All right, it's time to fire up these bucks, and this is going to be the ticket right here. Scrape lure, engage.
Immediately after the collection process, raw scents are quickly frozen, then shipped directly to you in an insulated cooler so you get it raw, fresh, and pure. Raw frozen scents, always fresh, no water, no preservatives, and 100% money-back guarantee.
The stuff works great.
This segment is brought to you by Hoyt. Get serious, get Hoyt. Having a target animal to focus on is always exciting in the deer woods, but when a new buck shows up, it can take your season and your odds for success to the next level.
Every year it seems like you get these mystery bucks showing up, and this year was no exception. I had a giant buck on the same farm I was hunting that narrow heavy deer, so I feel like I've doubled my chances, and I got in position on this new buck where I felt like he was coming from. Hung lone wolf that night, got a decoy out, and the first time in on the stand, it's getting dark fast. I've got a doe come out in the field, and sure enough, he's right behind her. I come to full draw with the Hoyt, quartering to, and I'm just trying to be patient, do the right thing, and wait for that perfect broadside shot. When he turns to go broadside, I try to stop him. He didn't totally stop, so I kind of bleated at him again. And when I did that, he just completely bolted on me, and a giant 170-inch plus deer just runs out of my life. And you're just sitting there kind of in shock and denial there in the middle of November thinking, what in the world just happened, and what do I do now? This is years of effort on this particular farm, trying to figure it out. And when you get to the peak there and don't capitalize, you just feel like you can either get back in the stand or you can move on and try to figure out another deer. I opted to move properties and try to figure out another farm, and basically going for greener pastures is what I elected to do. You always got those non-target animals coming into the decoy, and you've got to pass that test with them first. And the raw scent really sells them on it. If you can keep those deer from snorting and stomping and just totally busting all the other deer out of there, that's always a huge key. And anything totally behind me, we've got the ozonics to cover that.
One coming right to the decoy that I didn't even know was there. It's early. That's a great sign to start the night.
And sure enough, it wasn't long. It was just one of those special nights. There's activity start to finish. I've got young bucks coming in and checking out the decoy. We've got does moving. And sure enough, come prime time, here he steps out and it's game on.
I don't know. Really tight frame on him. Gotta be careful because he might be circling on us here. We'll see.
This segment is brought to you by Banks Outdoors, hunting blinds, deer feeders, and watering systems. For over 2 decades, the Moon Guide has been the #1 rated tool for serious hunters, telling you when giant whitetails will move and where you need to hunt. Now available as a mobile app, the Moon Guide gives you parcel data, enhanced weather radar, and the deadly red moon data.
My scouting tells me where to hunt. The Moon Guide tells me when.
Our best day hunting ever. 2 unkillable bucks, both taken on the red moon.
2 giant bucks last year, both taken on the red moon. Plan your best hunt at moonguide.com.
Team 200 is brought to you by Moon Guide. Plan your best hunt. Raw frozen scents, 53 times more effective. Whitetails Unlimited, working for an American tradition. Luminoc, light 'em up. Athlon Optics, ridiculously good optics. Banks Outdoors, hunting blinds, deer feeders, and watering systems. And by Radical Archery Designs, proudly made in America.
I don't know.
From there, it's just kind of figure out how to get on them. And again, I'm eyeing that red moon, and I know I've got 5 days. So I felt like the odds were kind of getting in my favor again. Located a good buck, had red moon ahead of me, and the last few days of November can be as good as any.
With his decoy ready and the red moon on his side, Ryan settles into his lone wolf, hoping to catch a glimpse of the shooter buck he knows is in the area.
And offered about a 10-yard shot. And it was just an incredible encounter. The decoy completely sealed the deal for me. You know, you can get away with murder when you got a perfect setup like that. You got good scent, good product out, and it worked like a charm.
I don't think he's gonna be too far. Quartering 2, kind of slowly walking, but just ripped right through him, double lung. Luminoc glowing right there in the grass. I'm talking 11 yards, maybe. And I'm betting he laid down right there on the other side of those cedar trees. But man, what a season. Just, it's been very trying. And we finally got it done. Beautiful Kansas sunset and a blood-soaked black eagle arrow. Look at this thing. Immediate blood on impact. That's awesome. All right, here we are, November 21st, and finally get to wrap my tag around a buck.
It's been a couple years for me. Had a lot of long seasons here. Even the last deer I killed was late season and the end of December. So this is my first rutting buck in, man, it seems like forever, probably 4 years or more. You know, this is the second deer for me to hit the ground between my buddy killing the giant buck in September, and here I am after a long season, the end of November, just looking back and you know, those 2 deer fell on the red moon, and you can't say enough. Planning your trips, planning your hunts, vacation, whatever it is, if you're not paying attention to the red moon, you're definitely missing out. And I think he thought he had a little bit of competition and he just came right in. And of course, my favorite broadhead I've ever shot, that Phelps series Radical Archery Design broadhead, is just like butter. Look forward to late season hunting with our friends and shed hunting and start the whole spring process over again and just start the grind. And this is the result that we work for right here.
Closed captioning for Team 200 provided by Quiet Cat. No matter what you do in the woods, do it with complete stealth, and you will increase your chances for success with Quiet Cat. All terrain, all electric.